And now we are live. Good evening, good evening, good evening. It's Tuesday. You know what that means? Time for the number one sports podcast in the world. It's time for Sports for You. Live on YouTube. I'm John. That's Mark. Nick Freaks on the way. Live on your TV screen, your laptops, your desktops on X and YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for Sports for You podcast. Like, like us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok at Sports for You podcast. Follow me at John Watson 0984 on X, Instagram, and TikTok. Follow Mark on Instagram at Mark1 on X. And follow Nick on X, Instagram, and TikTok at 99 Gorilla. Lots to talk about tonight as we're knee deep into the NBA playoffs. Teams have been eliminated. Teams on their way to Cancun. We definitely got to reflect on the NFL draft. And obviously the big story that's obviously then took that's had everybody talking, and we'll definitely talk about it, give our perspective on Shedeur Sanders and everything. And then talk about this, and we're gonna talk not about the playoffs, specifically what's going on in the West between two of the NBA's youngest rising stars, and who could be the next one. Let's go ahead and get started. Obviously, we'll start with the NBA. Playoffs are officially up and running. We've had teams eliminated from the playoffs now, three in the West and in the East. So the best place to do when that happens is to always go to a place we call 1-2-3 Cancun. So we're gonna go to Cancun right quick and talk a little about some of these teams who are out of the playoffs. And the conversation's already on fire with that, Bella. We're gonna start in the West. The first team that was eliminated this past weekend was the Memphis Grizzlies. They were swept by the Oklahoma City Thunder. And obviously, there's going to be a lot of questions about the Grizzlies offseason, specifically when it comes to their young superstar, Ja Morant. So let's talk about it. The Grizzlies, obviously, you see their starting five. Obviously, Jalen Wells, who was a finalist this past year for Rookie of the Year. Congratulations to Stephon Castle, who was named today the Rookie of the Year. They have their key reserves by Scottie Pippen Jr., John Concher, G.G. Jackson, Michael Clark, obviously, no injury. They're supposed to have $148 million in salaries on the books. Obviously, mentioned their free agents, Luka, Marvin Bagley. And then obviously they got some few exceptions, but the biggest question is centered around the future of Ja Morant. Ja Morant did not finish the postseason, obviously deal with a hip injury. And we all know he's had his off-court issues in the past or even and most recently. If you listen to the show, we've been very adamant. I think it's time for Ja Morant find a new place, find some new scenery. I agree. Get out of Memphis. Get out of that part of the South. I don't know where he will end up, but I think he needs to find another place. Oh no! That just be the right place for him. Go straight to Omaha. Yeah, straight. He a gangster then. He's gonna try to go to Omaha. But yeah, again, we look right here again. But obviously, Jaren Jackson Jr. All-Star and keeping Desmond Bain, they signed long-term. Jalen Wells had a good rookie year. Zach Edey had a solid year. Scottie Pippen Jr. finally finding him a spot in this league as a contributor. as a backup point guard. And obviously, like I said, Luka Kennard, Marvin Bagley, some of the key free agents that are back in the league this offseason. But the real story, and I say everything's gonna start with John. As we're watching right now, the Magic are up 4 right now on the NBA champions off the Celtics.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to the other 2 games and going on in a second. But Mark, what's the Grizzlies gonna do? Obviously, they got to hire a new coach, and let's not forget they got to hire a new coach too.
That's true. Well, first you should start there. Start with the hiring of a coach. Secondly, I am one of them a firm believer in. John needs to change the scenery. And right now, I think you can still get a good amount back for him. And you can let Desmond Bain be the leader for right now until you find your new number one. You know what I'm saying? Desmond Bain and Jaren Jackson together is dope. But yeah, I think this ran its course, and then we don't know why they fired their coach, right?
They said, man, change out to like for a pair of Kobe's. They allegedly it was that Taylor Jenkins lost the locker room. It was also thought that John Morant wasn't happy with the system. They were running well, Christie. That's those are some of the things that were brought up. They got to bring, like you said, the first thing I do is figure out who's going to be a new coach. We saw today that the Sacramento Kings, they officially named Doug Christie their head coach. They've taken the interim tag off him.
That's good.
So he'll now be a head coach for the Sacramento Kings. Hopefully, that works out for him. Still love him, hate him as a player. So, the player because I was a year with the Kings. But John Morant got to find his way. We got to find his way out of Memphis and ASAP. It was good while it lasted, but obviously you had some issues there, and now you just need to change the scenery. I'm not getting into situation with you and your pops. We're gonna get the Giannis in a second too, Chrissy. Don't worry. We're gonna get to the Bucks in a second. It's just not it's just something. It's something.
Yeah.
I don't have any more to say. The gun stuff, the celebrations. Obviously, he's trying to play the victim, going to be the heel and all that, and that's not true. John Miami. I can see it. We'll talk about Miami's going to be a team we'll talk about also during this 1-2-3 Cancun segment, first of the season. Here comes that. Giannis, he comes straight to the into it now. Comes straight to Staples Center too, but that's all another conversation. But
I'm straight to San Antonio.
What? Giannis shouldn't be, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's a podcast.
Would they have to trash the podcast for the Giannis?
Or they can trade De'Aaron Fox. They have him too.
Well, that's in this situation. We'll talk more about the Bucks in a second because that's just that whole situation is just bad from everything that transpired in the last 48 hours. So not to talk about there, but yeah, we'll see what happens with the Grizzlies. They're definitely gotta first get the new leader in charge and who's gonna be the head coach, and then go from there where Josh's future is gonna be. What I'm saying. There can be another one. We'll definitely talk about the possibilities of Giannis in a second. Let's go to another team in the East that was eliminated before the Bucks were eliminated today. They was eliminated yesterday, and that is the Miami Heat.
The Heat coaching.
The Heat coaching, huh? I don't know who Heat coacher is.
I was listening to something today. It says no such thing as Heat coaching. They said they had LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Jimmy Butler.
Is that so? Well, there's some people who say that. A lot of people feel like he coaches me is a real overused term when it comes to the Miami Heat. And we'll definitely about to discuss them right now. The Miami Heat were swept by
No, mauled.
by the Cleveland Cavaliers on yesterday. I don't even know what to call it the way they played yesterday because they looked like straight.
They didn't care.
Like I mean, we talk about the segment's called 1-2-3 Cancun, but it was already they was like damn. Well, we can't get to Cancun tonight, so we'll just settle for South Beach. So yeah, so we'll just settle for South Beach. So that's pretty much where they're at right now. So the Heat's outlook. Obviously, they don't have $185 million in contracts. Um, they got obviously Duncan Robinson has an early termination option. Davion Mitchell, they got who came over in the Jimmy Butler trade via Toronto, I think. Kelvin Johnson. I mean, they got that's pretty much. I mean, they got free agency wise, obviously, Tyler Hero, Haywood Highsmith, Andrew Wiggins, Bam, Khalil Ware, pretty much what they got. They got a few exceptions here. They can make some moves, but I think everybody's wondering, is that big move coming for the Miami Heat? And obviously, we just talked about one of those dominoes, and that could be Giannis. I don't know what that means. Could Giannis be on his way to South Beach? We're definitely talking about the Bucks because they got the whole situation with him is just all bad.
Tig said Miami don't have a leader.
No, that's the question everyone wants to ask. TNT. Right now, halftime, the Orlando Magic are up 49-47 on the reigning NBA champion Boston Celtics in Game 5. They're fighting for their playoff lives. They're fighting to stay alive as well. Loss for the Orlando Magic, and their season is over. Right now, in the fourth quarter, the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons are tied at 90, and the Pistons are, of course, they're fighting for their playoff lives as well. We all know what happened on Sunday with that no call on the Tim Hardaway 3.
Was that a bad call?
It wasn't a bad call.
Was it a bad no call?
Bad no call, I could say, because obviously it was a foul, but I get why they didn't call it, because if you've been watching these games, they've been pretty much just mauling each other the whole time. But y'all know how I feel about the last minute report stuff. I mean, it's not gonna. I mean, all you doing is feeding into the conspiracy theories about the NBA with that crap. Miami don't have a leader, and that's where I want to start. All eyes on Jimmy Butler, and a lot of people thought about how Pat Riley conducted himself. The question is it time for Pat Riley to turn the reins to somebody else?
As much as I hate to say it, because Pat Riley is one of the legends in the sport. Yeah, I think the time is passing. You know, it's a lot of these older double OG generational. You know, like he was a coach in the '80s, so he has a mindset of how things should be. But if you watch anything with sports, basketball, dogs progress. We're not in that same mindset. They're not in the same mindset anymore. And I think that's where the disconnect is with Pat. And then you see, like Dwayne Wade said, the way some of the star players leave.
I will. Pat Riley, you never hear me say nothing bad about Pat Riley, especially the Lakers. He helped us win He helped win 4 of the 5 titles in the full-time era. He was assistant on the first one. You'll never hear me say nothing bad about the Godfathers. The winner within. I'm a huge Pat Riley supporter. This time, 80 years old. Sometimes the game just passes you up. And Pat Riley, if anybody knows, he rules with an iron fist. Hey, Bill John, I ain't got to work. Hey, good stuff. Glad you ain't got to work today, Will. Congratulations. I did. I don't know. I didn't heard today. Maybe do they move Spoelstra up to Eric Spoelstra to move up to the front office? I don't think he's going to. I think he's going to stay as coach. I don't know because I don't know who's the next coach in waiting the way he was with Riley in Miami. You got Alonzo Mourning there. You got. I know Udonis Haslam is still around the team. I agree with Sam, but I ain't gonna argue someone who says that Phil's the greatest Lakers coach. I lived through all 5 of those titles, so I can't. So I'm not gonna argue someone who will take Phil ahead of Zoe. So ahead of Riley.
Pat Riley, the greatest coach in the history. Okay.
I'm saying, look, Clippers Nuggets game is next, but that's where the question starts. Where do the Heat go from here? And I think a lot of it is going to start with whatever happens with Pat Riley. He is part owner, so he's not going. So if y'all think he's just going to leave, just on his own, and that ain't gonna happen. He'll have to sell his share of the Heat, and I don't think he's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that makes no sense. Unless they're really gonna cash him out big time.
They pay him to go away here,
pretty much.
Yeah.
So we'll keep an eye on that. And then there's the last team that got eliminated just recently. What up, Nessa? And that is the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm waiting now. I want to give credit to all the information I got about the teams from Bobby Marks from ESPN. He's been posting what the outlook for both these teams. He hasn't posted the Bucks outlook, so if they don't have it by the end of the show, we'll definitely have it for Friday. But we can talk about everything on with the Bucks because there's nothing to hide. Obviously, the big story with Milwaukee, Damian Lillard tore his Achilles in Game 4. Just literally a year after dealing with an Achilles strain. And obviously coming back from the blood clot as Kay Cunningham is knocked down to 3. And the Pistons are right now up 5 with 4:16 left in the game, trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. The Milwaukee Bucks were up big time tonight on the stay-out elimination from the Indiana Pacers. But somehow, some way, Doc Rivers is always going to Doc Rivers.
Wait, he is the coach, huh?
That's right.
Oh, why don't that surprise me? That's right on brand.
The Indiana Pacers came back. Tyrese Halliburton hit a game-winning layup, and now they're on their way to the semifinals where they will face the Cleveland Cavaliers starting this weekend in the Eastern Conference. Lots to talk about the Bucks. Like I just said, Damian Lillard, he's out with torn Achilles. We probably won't see him probably next season either. But let's talk about how this game ended. I just gave you how it went down with the play with Tyrese Halliburton going coast to coast, getting the layup.
Did you say the most overrated player, Tyrese Halliburton?
Yeah, the guy who the player said is the most overrated player in the NBA. That Tyrese Halliburton, ladies and gentlemen, get the game winner. But that wasn't even the story of the game. The story was what happened after the game, and here it is after the Bucks were eliminated by the.
That's what Tyrese Halliburton is doing. But listen, the entire team played and made some plays. TJ was outstanding, I thought. Was able to get some. Oh, they still trying to clean it up. We got Antetokounmpo, we got Mathurin, and we got all kind of guys out here in the middle of this. The security's there. And they're trying. It's Kevin Porter Jr. I mean, yeah, they're trying to get him out of there. They're trying to get Mathurin out of there. They're just trying to make sure they get him out of there. They're trying to get Mathurin out. It's a little bit of everybody. There's some disappointment, I'm sure, on the part of the Bucks. But the Pacers did a good job, and they're just trying to make sure you get guys in the proper position. You need to celebrate the victory.
All right. So that's how the game ended. Giannis and Ben Mathurin got into a little situation, and right now like Josh Hart might took a knee right into the cup. He's the pitcher up too, but that's how that. But it didn't stop there. Giannis just went in full crash out mode after this game. Here's what happened when he. I seen him give the thumbs up to Halliburton's pop, so I don't know if it was that big of a deal. But
yeah, I was about to say, looking back at it again, I'm not sure if it was the same kind of aggression.
Yeah,
it still just looked weird. You being that close to him.
Yeah, I understand it, but clearly, Giannis was in full crash out mode as the season ended. It didn't look like anything, but I had to play it to you because just for context to see if it was something or not. I believe we got Nick Freeze here. Next, like Nick to turn his camera on.
Oh, okay.
All right, but it sounds like to me it's over for the Bucks. I think it's time. I mean, they're gonna have to have the question is now going to be what happens with Giannis, what happens with Dame in the offseason. You know, Dame probably is not going to play none of next year because he's recovering from the Achilles. Is that ankle?
Yep.
Yeah, all right, there we go. Now we welcome onto the show straight from H-Town, the great Nick Freeze. Nick, what up?
What up, y'all?
All right, we're in Cancun right now. My boy Robert Wilkins said Halliburton said after the game he'll talk to Giannis because he didn't think his dad was in the right in that situation. Well, that's good to know. So clearly, Pops kind of stepped across the line and good for Halliburton and want to go ahead and make sure there's no to clear that up. So, but Nick, we're talking about right now. We're in Cancun. We just talked about the Grizzlies. We talked about the Heat.
He said, now that function, that dude said something Giannis.
The Tyrese Pops was nothing. Now,
if he did say something Giannis, I'm not mad at him. Don't bring it back in my head.
I'm with that. I mean, I don't know what Giannis is. To me, like it looked like Giannis was like, it's season's over. I'm just gonna crash out, and that's pretty much what it was looking like. Nick, we talking about everything going on with the Bucks as far as the offseason. And Cade Cunningham is cooking right now in the clutch right now, as he's going to look to keep the Pistons alive one more day. Why is Cameron Payne in the game?
That's hate.
Yeah, it is hate, but he haven't been playing bad for him.
I totally forgot he was on the Knicks.
From what I've seen, he wasn't playing. He haven't played bad for him.
Wow.
No.
Well, he's in the game, I think, because obviously Jalen Brunson like he had tweaked his ankle, but him and Josh Hart are just waiting to get back into the game. They need to get back in there ASAP. There's only 90 seconds left. What up, AC? But Nick, we're talking about the Bucks. Their offseason. And obviously, Dame's going to be out probably for the next year with that Achilles. And now all eyes is what's going to happen with Giannis.
Oh,
And obviously,
yeah, Tyree's dad is way out of pocket.
what do you do?
Way out of pocket. After Tyree scored that layup, Giannis was, on the court. His dad came on the court like taunting him.
Okay, Pops, you got to chill.
Yeah.
I know your son's a star player, but you gotta know when and when not to cross the line. Literally and figuratively.
I don't know how they even let him go. I mean,
he was court.
Go ahead, Nick. What you think about some of this?
What was good? See how Tyree's got on the score table.
Go ahead, Nick.
Okay, Pop pretty much is right there at the 3-point line. He's pretty much taunting Giannis with a. Okay.
Yeah, I seen that.
I see Pat Connaughton comes over there to de-escalate the situation. So Pops is out of pocket. Pops can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, who you think he is? John Madden? Anyways, as far as that situation, if I'm Giannis, I'm honestly, it's like this. The writing's on the wall, dog. The coach is gone. Your running buddy's gone.
Your brother?
For real, your brother gone. Dame is hurt. He ain't gonna be playing next year. So it's like everything that pretty much you put into the season is like, to the team's pretty much gone. And look, if Brook Lopez is getting older, Bobby Portis is getting older. They really don't have that much young talent on the team. If they had some more young talent, that'd probably be something different. But shit. I think it's just time for a change. If you want to stay up over there, and there's nothing wrong with that either. They could probably try to make a trade for somebody, but even with that Dame contract is eating up all their money.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the worst thing that could have happened was, it's crazy to say this, was them trading away Chris Middleton. Getting Kyle Kuzma. Kyle Kuzma has given them nothing in the playoffs. Absolutely nothing.
Well, you ain't got to tell me I lived the Kyle Kuzma experience, so you ain't got to tell me twice.
Yeah, I had a different Kyle Kuzma than the one that's right now.
The one y'all had probably better than this one.
Yeah.
There's no, the Kyle Kuzma y'all had actually could make a bucket.
The one we had was hungry. This one isn't.
Nah. He didn't want this Kuzma didn't won and everything. He think he just go on cruise control the rest of his career.
No, he want to dress up.
No.
Nope. Hey, what's the name of that dude? That sandwich little baby at that white party?
No, that's wild.
You said that sandwich little babies?
No. Well, he probably does. The sandwich little baby.
Hey, yo, what the hell? Did you say sandwich little baby? That's wild.
He did.
I know somebody who sandwiched a little baby.
What up, Cheeseheads in the Bear podcast? What's good with y'all, brothers? What up, Brandon?
Mark, you all right, man?
Oh yeah, I mean,
AC said he needed to do the right thing and leave.
No, they did the right thing by having to trade him.
They're going to trade him. He's going to have to force his way out, and obviously, to say Giannis from Golden State. I'm wondering what the hell Golden State got to give that's not Jimmy Butler.
I know where he can go, and I saw this earlier by somebody that posted it. He can go straight to Houston.
That's what I just said.
Straight to Houston.
For Jimmy Green, for Jalen Green.
Yeah. Jalen Green.
No. They gonna trade away what's his name? They gonna trade away Şengün.
I think you still trade away Jalen Green because I think they're gonna try to trade Jalen Green to get Kevin Durant. But
they'd be stupid as hell to do that.
I don't know. He looking real trash in the playoffs.
He's a playing trash, but this is his first playoff run. You gotta live and you learn.
He looking like D-Lo.
Fix that. Long as not Clippers. That's funny.
He looked like Kobe against Utah Jazz.
Oh, they got a foul. Oh, no foul. Nice foul. Now they got a foul. He almost stole the inbound pass. But I think it's time. Look, Giannis got a ring there. One of the MVPs there. It's time to go. It's clearly it's time to go.
Go to a bigger market, man. He can go right up.
Giannis and Kawhi would be crazy.
Like this. You said him and Kawhi?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Oh, Kawhi going to Milwaukee?
No, hell no. Trade away James Harden.
Nah, you trade away James Harden, you go disrupt Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
That's like they best friend. They became best friends now.
Pretty much.
I know, right? Ain't that crazy?
Sometimes you never know.
Is that Doug Christie on the bench? Oh,
no, you good? The Pistons are up 4 with 16 seconds left.
Is his wife there?
In the word of
Whoa, Schroeder missed the free throw.
Oh, that's like him turning down an $80 million contract.
84. OG, he stopped. Oh! OG Anunoby with the 3. Now you got to play defensive foul. So Pistons call timeout. Wow. Oh wow! By the way, Clippers and the Nuggets just started. If you want to see that game, that's on True TV. Celtics and the Magic are tied at 53. That's on NBA TV.
Yeah, go out to lose.
But we was But we was talking also about the Grizzlies, Nick. Obviously, it's time. It's time for John Morant to get it. It's time for John Morant to go. Go get a new.
Not just him.
I mean, they're going to be it. They already got to find a new coach, but it's going to start after they get the new coach. Then it's going to figure out what they're going to do with him. So I figure they
get rid of everybody.
They're not trading Jaren Jackson.
I said they just trade. I
don't think they're in the move for. I don't think they're in a rebuild. They just need to. I think they just need to get rid of Ja.
Yeah.
Shit.
I think you can trade Ja, keep Bane and Jared Jackson and build around that until you get
another legitimate
start. Yeah, until you get another number one.
But no, I don't think they're going. They're not hitting the detonator button.
Did you see Jared Jackson in the playoffs?
But I don't think that. But you're not going to hit the detonator. They're not going to put a full rebuild. I doubt Jared Jackson is available. With Ja, we all know he just needs to get the F out of Memphis and ASAP. But we also talked about Miami.
For what?
I hate to say this, people don't want to admit it, but I think it's time for Pat Riley to say it's a wrap. But the question is he going to be willing to? Is he going to be willing to down? Which I doubt. Now he fouled.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Cunningham going to the line for 2 free throws. Knicks have no timeout, so they're going to have to go. They're going to have to go up the court in 5 seconds.
Hey, the Miami Heat are a prime example as to why you get rid of the play-in tournament.
By the way, I don't know if this is how real this is, but now we have the NBA Cup curse.
What?
The in-season tournament curse.
Oh my God!
Who won it this year?
Milwaukee.
Oh, the Lakers won it last year,
and they were both done in 5.
Lakers are far.
Lakers have been playing right since got caught up. Who said that?
Me.
All right. Cunningham knocks down both free throws. 5.4.
Brevin Knight.
Big Ride, what are you doing? Good foul. Good foul.
You called him Vic what?
He called him Vic Moaning.
Nope.
Who the hell is Vic
Nope.
Moaning? Who Vic is moaning? What?
Who's making Vic moan? And who the hell is that?
The Vic better be Victoria.
Calling Victoria Vic is out of pocket.
All the way. You might as well call her Victor.
Wow, missed the first.
Who missed it?
Deuce McBride. Miles, he missed it
You
bad.
called it, you about to say Miles, little brother?
Well, his first name is Miles.
Oh.
I don't know if he was. I think he was supposed to try to make the first one and miss the second one.
That's the way it's supposed to be done.
Hey.
He misses the first one. And now you got to miss the second one because you still got to get the rebound and try to kick out for a three.
That nigga's a doofus.
And Melo courtside, obviously, looks like we're going back to Detroit for a game 6. Mitchell Robinson
That's
coming in for
That's not a
rebound.
good look for the Knicks.
No, because
All right, come on.
all right, so we gonna get back to the NBA. We'll talk Ant and Luka in a second, but let's switch over to the NFL. The draft is over, and now that everybody's talking about probably the most glorified 5th round pick in NFL history.
Yeah.
That would be one Shedeur Sanders. So we did our draft. Oh, missed. And there goes, and there's the game. Pistons win 106-103. If someone was right there at the top of the key, that would have been a perfect tip out.
Robert Horry moment.
Yeah. By the way, Reggie Miller, you're wrong. Robert Horry does not deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, so shut up.
You ain't lying. Well, never mind.
But Shedeur Sanders, by the way, the Nuggets are up 12-6 on the Clippers in a do or die game 5. The 5th round, 144th pick to the Cleveland Browns. And this comes a day after the Browns took Dylan Gabriel in the 1st round. I mean, in the 3rd round.
I want to say, excuse me.
He wish.
Do y'all think the NFL told them to do this? And I think they got a call. They got a call from somebody and said, "Yo, y'all got to draft him."
It's not a real possibility. Nope. It happened with Michael Sam.
Okay.
It did.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
I don't know why you brought up Michael Sam.
Because you brought up the call. I think we were saw that when it got to the end of the draft.
Who fouled him?
I don't know. The jersey. I don't think no one called. I think Andrew Berry pretty much saw that this is you can get him on the cheap. 5th round picks, they're not guaranteed to make it out of camp, so you get him. Cool. He make the roster. Cool. If not, he can be on the practice squad. I don't buy this crap about him in the CFL. That's all.
That's not happening. That's not happening.
That's all publicity about the CFL. So anybody buying that, I got a bunch of water to sell you over there by PCH. But let's talk about it. Shedeur goes to the Giants. I mean, to the Browns. What? Why did he last to the 5th round? I'll start with you, Mark.
You probably should start with Nick. Nick been saying this the whole time.
Oh no, that's why I was saying Nick for last because I know what I already know because Nick's been saying it, but I want to get a fresh perspective because I want Nick to close this to take a walk off.
Well, I know what Nick. I have an idea what Nick will say, so I'm gonna leave most of the talking points for him. The measurables for a quarterback was never a 1st round, 2nd round, maybe even a 3rd round grade. His arm. Well, Nick will tell you all that. But I do think that what hurt him what helped him in college, hurt him getting to the pros is I think Deion had an offense and programmed to be the Shador and Travis Hunter show. It didn't put him in any kind of NFL like situations. It was beneficial for those two. And he'd never been coached by nobody outside of Deion. Whereas the NFL team, that looks bad, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you look at some of those videos that him and Cam Ward was doing together, he come off entitled. He come off as an entitled kid, which probably should be. He got both. He came up in a great situation, but I don't think that's what NFL teams would want from their quarterback that they get, and who's already don't measure up to what you want physically.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this, and I'm just gonna give the floor to Nick after this. He wasn't a first round pick. If you watch the game, and Nick's gonna tell you all about it, because his school played out of all of us, he got to see it personally because he was in his conference for a year. Shador Sanders was not a first round pick. And when and let's be clear, we saw where he was ranked in Daniel Jeremiah as a top 20 prospect. Just because you're a top 20 prospect does not guarantee that you're a top 20 pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you an example. Look at our draft with the Broncos. Barron, cornerback from Texas, nation's best cornerback, Jim Thorpe Award winner, was a top 10 prospect. We got him at number 20.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no guarantee just because they have you listed as a first round prospect doesn't mean you are a first round prospect. Because, like I was telling people, these teams finally see the film on these dudes. We're watching games. They're watching the all 30. They're watching the all 22.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna leave the floor to Nick Freeze.
Mm-hmm.
Nick,
All right. So
Nick, hold on. I'm gonna give you a solo shot. I'm gonna give you a solo shot for this one.
Oh.
mm-hmm. Yo.
Pause. But
Yo.
The floor is yours. I'm moving.
Yo. That is crazy. All right, so Shador Sanders, I've been saying this since he was in college. His game does have flaws. Now, do I think he's a fifth round quarterback? No, I think he was better than a few of the guys that got drafted, a couple of guys that got drafted before him, especially the dude the Saints drafted. I can't believe he got drafted before him. But as far as a first round quarterback, like I said on the other show and even beforehand, when I watch him, I don't see a first round quarterback. I thought he would be a first rounder by default because, let's be honest, the quarterback draft wasn't that draft class this year wasn't that strong. So I figured based off of not the hype that he had and everything like that he would be a first round pick by default. I said it about us. I was like, if we draft him, I don't want us to reach to draft him. Let him just fall to us. No trade, nothing, none of that. And that's exactly what happened. And the thing is that when you look, because see, the thing is, people look at, the numbers sometimes and be like, oh, well, he did this and that and blah, blah, blah. Well, let's look at some other guys who's put up some big numbers in the past. Excuse me. Gardner Minshew put up some crazy numbers his last year in college. He was a 6th round pick.
He won a John Unitas award.
Sure did. And people don't know that is the best quarterback in the country award.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a 6th round pick. We've seen Heisman winning quarterbacks go in the 5th or 6th round before. With what's his name? The dude from Ohio State, Troy Smith.
Troy Smith, yeah.
Troy Smith.
Yeah. So we've seen quarterbacks and even just players fall before.
Uh-huh.
But I see what people make a point. When he's supposed to be ranked so high, and it was so high on so many people's draft boards. and then he falls to the fifth round. That is kind of an eye opener. I didn't expect him to go past round 3 because I for sure said he was second day material from the jump. And the thing is that people compare him to other quarterbacks, like, prime example, Mark's boy, Josh Allen. They're like, oh well, Josh Allen, his in the competition, people brought the competition. Oh, Josh Allen didn't play against no top tier competition and this and that. But you look at the physical intangibles that Josh Allen had, and you're like, okay, the dude has easily the strongest arm in the draft, and the arm strength is like compared to Patrick Mahomes. Anytime a quarterback has an arm that's that strong, he's gonna his stock automatically rises. Look at Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco played in Delaware. He had a strong arm, and he not like that. He's like 6'6". He looks like an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
And not like that. The quarterback draft class wasn't that strong that year either. It was pretty much him and Matt Ryan. Yep. So, Shador, he doesn't have that rocket arm. He has the type of arm that is great for the intermediate pass. But he doesn't do the intermediate pass that often, especially in the offense that was ran up over there. Excuse me, in Colorado. The offense in Colorado was pretty much, you don't even throw. It's not even intermediate passing. You're pretty much short dig and dump passes, or you throw the deep pass, and that's how that worked. Because if you look at it, that's the reason why I said they had talent at receiver, because they had 3 receivers get drafted.
Mm-hmm.
So they top 3 receivers all got drafted, and I think 2 of them got drafted before him. So, but it's like, it's not. I think it was from what I've heard that he did something that rubbed some people the wrong way when he did interviews with team. Like, for example, everybody has to go through the interview process is something everybody goes through, and I think he took that story of his pops a little bit too much to heart, as far as, oh, I'm not going to interview with you guys because I'm not going to be available at y'all pick. I think he took that a little bit. I think he took that a little bit too much to heart, but for him to be a 5th rounder, I'm not cool with that. And that's with me being as critical as I've been about him throughout his entire career. I don't think he's a 5th round quarterback. I think he was for sure 2nd, 3rd round, no doubt about it. Even if he was a 1st rounder, according to what team drafted him, I understand, because he was pretty much ranked as the 2nd best quarterback pretty much all year. But we've seen this before. Graham Harrell, the numbers he put up over there in college, and look what happened with him. The Saints coach, Kellen Moore, he threw for like 6,000, 7,000 yards in college, or some crazy number. I think it was more than that.
Yeah, 7,000. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like some crazy number with a shit ton of touchdowns. And if you watch him play in college, you was like, this motherfucker's cold. It wasn't just like him just depending on somebody else or something like that. He looked like he was legit making all the plays. He was making all the throws, and he still went with the way he did. It's just some guys. It's just like college basketball. Some guys are just college players. They look great in college. They can do something in the league, but they may not be able to do the same thing they did in college that they did when they get to the league. And throughout all the complaining, Shador's actually in a great situation to actually start. Because if he wins out the quarterback, because pretty much they said it's a dog fight for who's going to start, because Deshaun Watson's not playing, and they have to put this out there that he's still their starting quarterback. If he were to come back this year, he's going to play because they paid him all this damn money. But they have plenty of options.
Even if he was healthy, he wouldn't be starting. I mean, he wouldn't be playing.
So you look at this is the Browns depth chart going into OTAs and and into training camp.
Oh, Joe Flacco starting. Duh.
You have Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Joe Flacco definitely.
He's probably done. His time with the Browns is done. 2 Achilles injuries back to back. There's no recovering from that. They just traded for Kenny Pickett, but he's just there to be a backup. Clearly, Joe Flacco's a starter at age 40. They took Dylan Gabriel in the 3rd round. I wasn't really that big of a Dylan Gabriel guy, and obviously you got Shador. I've been saying this. I think one of those guys out of Shador, Dylan Gabriel, will make the squad. The other one's probably going to get traded because usually teams will look to try to trade for players right when they get down to the final 53, or one of them's going to be on the practice squad. But
Tig said, I think the issue fans have is the talk as to why he didn't go higher is not skill. It was attitude. If all his form was only football, I think fans have big of an issue. Well, what those fans have to understand is if your skill and your football don't equal up to your attitude that you bring, you're not worth it to him. So it all goes line in line with each other. If he was as good as they say Arch Manning is, or Duke from Penn State, and you have an attitude like that, they kind of will mess with you because the skill is there. But when they like John said, they got the all 22 film. When they look at it and you don't and your skills don't really, there's nothing stands out about your skills on a pro level. All the extra stuff they don't need you on their team.
I agree, and that's pretty much what it is. They ain't gonna look. You be talent. NFL is a talent-based league, but you will be tolerated until your talent shows that you're not worthy of the headache.
Yep.
We was talking about this after we was out on Saturday. Me and Fat was talking about this on the way home. Jimmy Johnson always has a story. Troy Aikman, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, they could sleep through a meeting. But if this was like Jason Garrett or RP Wade Wilson or whoever the other backups or Kevin Smith or somebody like that who was a number 2, or Alvin Harper, or even like Alvin Harper who was a decent receiver, they would have got cut. I give an example with Denver. Elway, Terrell Davis, Shannon Sharp. I mean, that's not a good reason to use him right now. Rod Smith, Steve Atwater, the Orange Crush Broncos. They could. Mike Shanahan ain't cutting them if they can show up late to a meeting.
That girl wasn't born when he was playing for the Broncos. Never mind.
Yo, you good?
My bad. What? Yeah.
Yo, you all right?
Yeah. Let me say, but why was that never the?
Why was that never the? I'm hearing talks. All right, Nick's back.
All we heard was he isn't humble. He's cocky. His skill isn't good enough for his attitude. Again, if your skills don't match your attitude, we don't need you here, son.
Pretty much. And him hearing that he pretty much sandbagged a bunch of interviews. I'm like, come on, dude. And
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know if that's true.
I heard that they said it was bad, but I don't know if he did it on purpose. I just think that's just.
I think there were certain teams he didn't want to play for. You want to be honest, and I think that had a lot to do. And
hold on. Hey, look.
Influence from that. But let's talk about the Deion aspect. I'm never going to question another man's parenting. You know that? Y'all know that if y'all watch Sports4U, we don't do that. All 3 of us are fathers, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But clearly, there were some NFL owners or somebody in NFL that had an axe to grind with Deion Sanders for this to happen. Now, I'm taking it as a joke with Shiloh Sanders, the other his Shador's older brother, who was a safety. He signed with Tampa Bay as an undrafted free agent, and he said, "Dad, I love you, but you're fired as my agent." Now he was saying it jokingly, but
Shiloh's hilarious.
But when I seen who he hired, I was like, okay, maybe that's not too serious. Because he hired Drew Rosenhaus to be his agent.
I was gonna say it's probably Drew Rosenhaus or what's the other motherfucking name? Damn. I forgot his name is, but yeah, I was about to say probably Drew Rosenhaus. He gonna get paid if he with Drew Rosenhaus.
So I figured, okay, so and Shador didn't have an agent. And that's the thing. If you get drafted day 3, usually the agents do a lot of negotiating because the first 3 rounds, your money is pretty much slotted into wherever you get picked.
Mm-hmm.
As far as your picks 1 through like 101, that salary is already been predetermined.
Nick, he said Joe, you said you slide in whoever you send your pick to.
Yo, you good?
Oh, my bad.
Yo, what's wrong with this dude?
This nigga talking about slide pricks. That's crazy.
Sliding pricks. What?
I agree that the skill wasn't top pick, but again, they blamed him. But you can't blame him. At some point, you got to take some accountability. And I know as black people don't like holding black people accountable.
Right.
They want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. But him not going to work out for certain teams because he thought he was getting top. That's bad. And if you did bomb some interviews on purpose, you didn't just do it with that team. Talk goes around the NFL. So
sure does.
You did it with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
He has to hold some accountability to this. Him having a brand of legendary before he even get drafted, don't look like your focus is football. It looked like it's everything else, and football is just a hobby to you. As a team who's drafting a quarterback, and then I'm gonna say this: as me being a coach, and I've had this problem before when I was coaching, you and your helicopter dad is gonna be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't, and you're not good enough to deal with all that. It's simple as that.
Hey, you want to know a prime example of somebody who had a similar attitude as him come out of college?
Who was that?
Cam Newton.
But
he was able to deal with it because Cam Newton was so good.
Yep.
Like Kenzie asked us, well, why we didn't hear this about Caleb Williams? I was like, well, Caleb Williams, we all knew. Caleb Williams pretty much knew where he was going the moment he left USC. He was going to be the first pick.
We can't compare him to quarterbacks
you can't do that. You can't compare him to Caleb. You can't compare him.
He's a Heisman winner. Heisman winners. Those they have crazy pauses and they have hardware to back up their the talk they do. They can walk the walk, talk the talk.
Exactly.
You know, and you know something else, Shador. What really hurt Shador, and I said it beforehand, was him not participating in the work in the combine.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not just because there's been plenty of quarterbacks that haven't done it before, and players, even in guys in lower rounds. But it's not just the fact that that it was the fact of when it happened, somebody else gained traction while he wasn't there. So while he wasn't there, you know, Jackson Dart started gaining traction.
Yep.
Because when you're there, you're like, I'm looking for top 2 quarterback prospects or whatever, and the guy that's supposed to be the second guy is not there. So guess what happens? They look at the third guy now. So all the guy that looks the second guy is supposed to get, the third guy is getting it. Everybody's like, wait, this dude's not that bad.
I'll rate you one, Nick. It started when he didn't pause.
Huh?
He didn't play during the North-South game.
Oh yeah.
You
didn't go to the senior.
He wasn't invited to the Senior Bowl.
He wasn't invited to the Senior Bowl.
He was not good enough to get invited to the Senior Bowl.
And then
yeah.
And again, I don't want to be the one to hear that sit on here and try to kill his kid.
Nah, because he's definitely better than a 5th round pick for sure. He should have went in the third and late second, no doubt about it.
B, relax. B, relax.
I agree. He probably should have went third, but again, everything else that looks on the side, and then everything else that came with Shador is probably what dropped him down to the 5th round pick.
What I'm little.
And you know, I know they just videos that's been on Twitter and Instagram, but teams see these videos when he was working out with Cam, and he really trying to work out, and he like, man, let's shoot a music video. Like it's just small things that we might see as small as fans and minute. Dog is about to invest millions in you. They looking at all of it. They looking at all of this, dog.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I wish him the best. I don't know what the future holds.
He gonna be all right. He gonna end up starting up over there because they're not gonna be that good. I think he's better than Dylan Gabriel.
I think so too.
Flacco's 40. He's not.
I think Flacco will start. He gonna start the season off. I think that at the beginning of the season, when the season starts, Shedeur should be the second string quarterback because Kenny Pickett is not good neither.
Hey, look. All I gotta say is this: Shedeur's gonna be fine. He gonna go up over there. He gonna prove that he's better than what he is. Because look, him being drafted in the 5th round is not gonna be the end of the world. We've seen plenty of Pro Bowl quarterbacks in the league get drafted in the 5th, 6th. I mean, the motherfucker who makes the most money in the damn league, Kirk Cousins, was drafted in like the 6th round, the 6th round or 5th round, some shit like that.
I think the 5th round, yeah.
Yeah, and this motherfucker that made damn $500 million in the league. So Shedeur will be okay. Him, like I said, him getting drafted in the 5th round, is it bullshit? Of course it is. But I think it is. I don't think he should have been 5th.
If it was just skill and there was nothing else with it, I get it. I get it. But we don't know for sure or not. But if you did bomb your interview on purpose, like I said,
that's a bad look. That's bad.
And even if you think it's just for that team, dog, they talk to each other. These owners talk to each other, man. That's what you have to understand. So even if he didn't want to play for the Giants and he bombed that interview, as soon as that interview was over with, they probably got on a conference call and said, "Yo, this kid right here is not worth the trouble."
Yeah, of course. So it's a fraternity. You know how it is.
Man, come on now. 5th round because he already got money. That gotta do anything.
No, it's 5th
round. That has nothing to do with that.
It's 5th round because Arch got money already.
Mm-hmm. And he gonna end up being a 1st round pick too.
Carson Beck got money already.
Caleb Williams got money.
They all have money already. Guess what? It's how you conduct yourself. Like I said, I know we don't like holding black people accountable. Come on, man. But at some point we have to do that.
And look, a lot of the stuff they said about Shedeur is the same thing they were saying about Caleb Williams as well. Let's not. They for sure was calling Caleb Williams selfish and only worried about himself, and him talking about he not going to a team unless he get stopped into the team or some crazy shit like that.
That's a fact.
Yeah, so
all that's a fact, but it's one big difference, or two big differences. When he went to the interview and bombed it, and the way he carried himself and conducted himself, it just looks different. That's all.
I agree. Let's talk about enough Shedeur talk. Let's talk about the draft as a whole with our squads. Relax. How did you guys feel your teams did in the draft? I'll start with you, Nick. How you feel the Raiders did? Obviously, y'all took Ashton Genty. Y'all took Jack Beck. How do you guys feel about how y'all did overall?
I think we did pretty damn good, to be honest with you. There's a couple of players that I wish that we would have drafted. Like, for example, I wish we would have drafted Will Johnson. I think that was a great pickup for Arizona. I understand why he slipped to the 2nd round because people are worried about the injuries or whatever, the injury history. But if the dude's not hurt, this motherfucker is going to be he's projected to be what, the 2nd best corner at worst in this draft. So, I wish we would have got him, but I'm not mad at the corner we did draft. The niggas from Idaho State. I like the Genty pick. I like the back-to-back picks of offensive linemen we did. I even like because we drafted 2 quarterbacks, but one of them is going to convert to receiver. And I'm just, I hadn't heard about these because these dudes was from they went to D2s or whatever. So I checked them out and looked at some of the tape. These are Chip Kelly picks, John. These are guys that Chip Kelly he's gonna run these goal line packages, whatever, with these dudes, and he's gonna do something. I like the D tackle from Ole Miss we drafted. I'm cool with our draft. It wasn't one of those things like, oh, the names stand up outside of Ashton Jesse and Beck or whatever. But outside of that, the guys that they got were pretty much Pete Carroll and John Spytek guys. These were like blue collar, hardworking guys. But you could tell that they put an emphasis on helping the running game with the way we drafted. Because even the receivers we drafted big receivers. Because we got John Boy too from Tennessee.
I'll go next. I like what we did. Obviously, I wanted a Marion Hampton or Travion Henderson, but getting Jody around Barron in the first round, then taking RJ Harvey. I mean, I'll live with that. And then we need another wide receiver, so getting Pat Bryant from Illinois. And I think we did a lot just focusing on the defense. I think that was when our defense really showed up last year, leading the league in sacks under Vance Joseph. So I like what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Mark?
Uh-oh.
Yes, sir.
How you feel about the draft?
I personally absolutely loved it. I wasn't a fan of that trading up to get a player that we could have got if we kept our same pick.
Mm-hmm.
That trade was crazy.
But I also understand that might be a player that they really wanted, and they thought that somebody else might get it, so they just said, let's go do it.
Right.
Calling out names is predicting too, right?
Yeah, shout out.
Okay, well, I'm giving a shout out to y'all hear me kill Brandon Bean all the time on this podcast. I'm giving him a shout out when we do calling out names because I'm tired of hearing Bills fans and non-Bills fans express respect.
Oh, well, we can go there now. That ain't calling out names. We got to talk about that topic. So, Brandon Bean, the GM of the Bills, he was on a local sports show in Buffalo. And obviously, the host clearly had something to say about what he's been doing in the draft. Well, let me tell you something. If you're going to have a guest on your show, you might not want to say something knowing that you got him waiting. I'm going to wait for Mark to get back and we'll discuss. I want to play the audio. But this was just these two guys who hosted this show were flat out stupid. And I'll play the audio once Mark comes back in the studio. By now, the Celtics are 22. They're on their way to the next round. And obviously, they'll be waiting either the Knicks or the Pistons with that series now going to 6. That'll be the only series left in the East. But I like what we did. So I'm gonna play this audio. This was
I love this.
Bills GM Brandon
I fucking love this.
Was on a local show in Buffalo, and he pretty much said, "You know what? I got time today."
No, it was. I was just listening to the last few minutes of your show before I came on, waiting on here.
All right.
Sounds like 2018 all over with you guys.
Well, how so?
Well, you guys were bitching in 2018 about Josh Allen. You guys wanted Josh Rosen, and now you guys are bitching that we don't have a receiver. I don't get it. Like, we just hold on, let me talk. We just scored 30 points in a row for 8 straight games. A year ago, I get you guys asking why we didn't have receivers, but I don't understand it now. You just saw us lead the league in points when you add all the postseason. No one scored more points than the Buffalo Bills, including the Super Bowl champions. So you just saw us do it without Stephon Diggs, same group. How is this group not better than last year's group? Our job is to score points and win games. Where do we need to get better? Defense. We did that. So I get it. You got to have a show and you got to have something to bitch about, but bitching about wide receiver is one of the dumbest arguments I've heard.
Okay.
There you go, Brandon Bean. I fuck with it.
I do too. I thought he was 100% right.
Hey, remember when I first read that quote and I said, I hope this is true?
Yeah.
And then 10 minutes later, the audio came out?
Yeah.
I fucking love this, man.
And I said it again. If you're gonna have someone on your show, you might not want to bash them right when you pretty much got them on call waiting. You pretty much got them on hold and they can hear the whole conversation. I had nothing wrong against what Brandon Beane did. Because like you said, you want to ask him about last year, cool. But look, you can't say that this year when they actually had a better offense. You had the MVP. You were in the AFC Championship. I just said, outside, probably have a better offense outside the Eagles. If you look at in the last 5 years, the only team that's had a better scoring offense was the Chiefs.
But what Brandon Beane said was correct.
Yeah.
If you include the playoff, we scored the most out of any team in the NFL.
Right, including
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, and remember when we had the pre-draft show, and you was asking what we need, and you can hear the whispers, receiver.
Yeah.
Dog, that's not the thing. That's not. I mean, of course we can upgrade a receiver. I'm not saying that we have the best receivers, but that's not our main focus. Our defense is what had us lose to Kansas City the last 2 years.
You're absolutely right.
And he addressed. That's why I say I love this draft. I don't know if any of these players go pan out.
Right.
But the fact that you focus the whole draft on the defense, you understand what's going on right now.
And he said it. He knows the defense was the problem. And he's saying that with a guy who's a defensive-minded coach. So now, like you said, these picks, you don't know. Half of them are going to hit, half of them are going to miss. You hope the ones like you took Maxwell Harrison and you traded up for the kid from South Carolina. The guys you get at the top part of the day one or day two guys, those are the guys you really hope to hit. But the guys who he takes in day three are the guys who are going to be key contributors.
Yep.
If you go look at any draft, look at guys who were picked from rounds 3 and beyond. I guarantee most of them dudes have been either all pros, Pro Bowlers, or Hall of Famers. And look at this prime example today. The 49ers just inked George Kittle to a new deal. George Kittle was picked in the 5th round in the 2017 draft. I didn't know this. And Kyle Brandt said that this morning on Good Morning Football. I believe there were 9 or 6. They said he was in 6 or 9 tight ends. I think it was 6 tight ends that were drafted ahead of him in 2017.
I'm about to look it up.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it was 6 tight ends drafted ahead before George Kittle was taken in the 5th round. But everyone focused on that draft because that was the year the Niners had 2 first-rounders. They took Solomon Thomas with the 3rd pick, and Reuben Foster at the end of the 1st round.
Oh shit!
Talk about 2 duds.
And remember, they traded back to get Solomon Thomas because they had the Bears believing that everyone believing that the Bears were going to take Solomon Thomas. The Bears thought they were going, or it was a Mitch, and they ended up drafting Mitchell Trubisky. Well, like I said, I had no problem with our draft. I hope everyone had a good draft.
No, fuck all that. Brandon Beane, you earn my respect. First off for the draft, and then halftime, you just telling fans shut the fuck up.
Yo, Tig, that's hate. So Westbrook got one of the worst haircuts by any players. Oh, he had that double lineup. That's hate, Tig.
That's funny as fuck.
But as Nick is looking up these, who are the players that the tight ends that drafted ahead of George Kittle, we'll go over to the NBA. We'll talk the playoffs. Right now, my NBA life is going to be miserable. Possibly be over by tomorrow if the Lakers lose in 5. What you got, Nick?
I just looked at the pre-draft rankings. Crazy Paul was tight ends. He was ranked number 12.
Do we know any of the guys that was ranked ahead of him?
A few of the guys are definitely, if you remember from that time, it was definitely justified. Okay, so the number one guy. This is the OJ Howard draft class.
Yeah.
We remember. We remember him come out of Alabama.
Yeah, he was good.
Okay, OJ Howard, David Njoku,
Okay. Yeah, he wasn't that draft. First round.
Gerald Everett.
He went to the Rams. That was the first pick in the McVay era.
Okay, that's three. Those three tight ends are solid.
Look, Evan Ingram.
Okay. That's right. That was 4. He went the first round too.
Okay.
That's 4.
Adam Shaheen.
Okay, that's where.
Look, crazy pause. Jake Butt.
We took Jake Butt. Pause.
What? You took Jake Butt?
What? Y'all took...
Yo, you good? Yo, Mark, what the hell is wrong with you, dog?
Jake from State Farm.
Oh, shit. No, we're not doing that.
That's better than Jake Paul. I thought it was crazy.
Jake was a tight end at Michigan. He was a tight end at Michigan. A lot of people had to Jake to go.
Don't use tight end as he said you took his butt.
Pause. He played at Michigan. He was rejected number one of the top at that position. But he tore his ACL he tore his ACL in the Orange Bowl and was never the same.
I remember. I remember who he was.
His Twitter handle was wild though.
Jordan Leggett from Clemson.
Jordan who?
Jordan legit from Clemson.
Yeah, I know who he is.
Look, Bucky Hodges.
He didn't make it.
Oh yeah, that's
from Virginia Tech.
Mm-hmm.
Jonnu Smith.
Okay. Jonnu Smith was good, but he wasn't better than George Kittle.
None of them was better than George Kittle.
Well, clearly, but
in the long run. But these are guys that had bigger names at the time. Michael Roberts from Toledo, he was trash.
Yeah.
And Jeremy Sprinkle from Arkansas. All of those guys were ranked higher. And George Kittle was projected to be a 4th to 6th round pick the year that he was drafted. So he basically got drafted where he was projected to be at.
Wow.
Sometimes it's all about situation.
Wow.
Hey, also, he went to Iowa. You know what Iowa's known for?
Pause, tight ends.
Yep.
Crazy, tight end university, pause.
Yep. Him, T.J. Hawkinson, Noah Fant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. All right, let's go to the NBA. Let's go. Y'all took him like in the 30s. He was the first pick in the McVay era. That was the same draft.
Yeah.
That was the same draft I got Cooper Kupp. So, I was talking about my Lakers season probably be over.
Mm-hmm.
Tight end this year. Yeah. Terrence Ferguson from Oregon. They said anybody. I was listening to Marco Farr say this the other day. He said to be a tight end in the McVay offense, you gotta be hella smart.
Yeah.
I want to play with something from Kendrick Perkins. As we were talking, as we were talking about Lakers Timberwolves, as the Timberwolves on the brink of advancing tomorrow night, and it's about the whole debate involving Ant Edwards and Luka. This is what Kendrick Perkins had to say about Ant Edwards and the Luka conversation.
Watching the fourth quarter, the second half, the fourth quarter in particular, I saw what Nico Harrison was talking about when it comes down to the reason why he traded Luka. He traded Luka because he felt that the Dallas Mavericks were not going to be able to win a championship with Luka. We all know this. I didn't feel that way watching the game looking at Anthony Edwards. I'm saying to myself, Anthony Edwards is going to win a championship before Luka Doncic. Anthony Edwards is built different. Anthony Edwards is a better all-around basketball player than Luka Doncic. Now, I could come on here like I did earlier in the segment. I could blame J.J. Redick, rightfully so, for the minutes that he played LeBron James at 40 years old. But like I said, Luka is young. He should have been able to play those 24 minutes straight. Anthony Edwards did. And Anthony Edwards thrived in those minutes. And so when I look at what he's done and what he's doing, not only did he send KD home last year, he sent Jokic home last year. He's now about to send LeBron and Luka home this season because they're going to win this series. And think about this for a second. In the next round, he could possibly be facing Steph Curry. And guess what? What if he send them home, which he absolutely has a chance to send Steph Curry packing. This man is just built different. And it's not just about the 40-plus points and the assists and the rebounds. He defends his ass off. He wanted smoke with LeBron.
I saw your hand up. I was like, okay, all right.
The legend killer, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That's what he is. I thought my man Cass from 17 podcast say that he's on a Randy Orton like run, being a legend.
I do the hand.
He pretty much is. He is a legend killer right now. And he pulls this off and then beats the Warriors the next round.
Hey, look.
Hey, y'all get past Denver and get past OKC and he can get past Kawhi, he will be a legend killer.
Hey, dog. All I gotta say is this. If, first and foremost, he's making me look smarter and smarter every year when I said that he was better than LaMelo Ball when they first got drafted.
Boy, when you said that when he got drafted, I was with you. And I was in the Lakers spaces and I had to argue people who were telling me, well, Anthony, analytics will show you that LaMelo's doing better. I'm like, all right, you saying that now?
No.
Analytics. I know what my eyes are showing me. And this ain't no sign of LaMelo Ball. But he's not Anthony Edwards.
Nope. Both of them are extremely entertaining to watch, though. Those are like, if you want to talk about favorite players to watch, they're for sure. Those two for sure should be in your top 10. If you want to just say players that you enjoy watching play,
yes,
because the controlled carelessness that LaMelo plays with is absolutely fun to watch. But back to Anthony Edwards, though. This dude is he's playing his ass off, though. He definitely is. Perkins, I'm not with to understand why Nico Harris made the trade. There's no way in hell. But I do have to say this though. Who did Luka end up beat in the first round last year?
First round last year, they beat. I'm trying to think.
Was it Minnesota?
No, they beat Minnesota Conference Finals. First round. Who did they beat in the first round last year? Minnesota beat Phoenix, Denver, and then lost to Dallas. And then Dallas. They beat
us. They beat us in the first round. Now, this falls into what I said beforehand about Luka. People, the first thing people say is Luka's the Clipper killer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I say is Luka's only got the first round one time, and that was when Kawhi was hurt. Luka's about to get knocked out of the first round again, and it's like when he goes up against these two-way players, it seems like I don't know what happens. He can't deal with having to defend these guys. Well, he doesn't play defense anyways, but he can't deal with having to put the defensive pressure on these guys who are also, dominant scorers as well that can also defend. He can't do both. These guys can do both. And that's and stuff like that is the little things that hurt you in the playoffs. This is that right there. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, you know what I noticed about LeBron? When he had Anthony Davis, he used his energy on offense and slacked off on defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You know who the Lakers' best defender is in the series?
LeBron.
It seemed like now he's taking a step back on offense and stepping it up on defense.
He is. He only took 2 shots in the fourth quarter.
He gets killed for it.
He's trying to catch his breath on offense. and that's why that last two was just stupid. But he take these.
Was the shot clock ran out?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
That was a necessary shot. He should have. But we've seen him do that shot a billion times before and make it. But that wasn't. It's still like that situation. That wasn't the smartest shot selection at that point.
Right. Nah, that wasn't it.
Especially when you weren't in rhythm. That's the thing. Like if you was in rhythm and you were scoring, I would have had no problem with you making that shot. But I don't care who you are. The best players in the world, all that rhythm matters. Rhythm matters for Kobe, Jordan. Anybody, if you off your rhythm sometimes, you're not going to make the shots that you usually make when you in rhythm, regardless of who you are. So, he wasn't in rhythm. Like Mark said, he only took 2 shots in the fourth quarter. So at that point, it wasn't a smart shot because you're not in rhythm and you haven't been shooting and you're already tired. You should have done a better shot selection at that point. That wasn't smart at all.
Jake said, I've never seen him make a shot when it matters since he's been a Laker. Okay.
Oh, I've seen him make that shot. I've seen him make that shot a few times.
I've seen him make a bunch of shots that matter since he's been a Lakers.
I have too. I've seen him
go crazy. He took that particular shot. I haven't seen him make that, try to do that particular shot too many times in that particular situation. But y'all Laker fans watch more Laker games than I do. So maybe I'll see something I don't. I haven't seen him take that shot too many times in that particular situation.
I saw no bench players played in the second half. That's what I did see.
I think when it matters is questionable because he might not make that shot, but he might. And I'm not talking about yesterday, but he might make 3 or 4 threes to keep you in the game. That shit matters too.
Like the Ray Allen shot.
All right.
Ouch. Job that Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Or the Kyrie shot?
Oh no. Here's my thing.
That's crazy. Go ahead, John.
Here's my thing on the Lakers. JJ, and I said it. I was criticized for criticizing him after game one, but I'm just gonna say it again.
Mm-hmm.
Certain things he got, certain adjustments I didn't like. I didn't like when it comes to the defense. If you go to back the paint and make them shoot threes, you gotta hope they're missing. Now, when they're making threes, you're gonna have to play some defense, man to man. Clearly, and that involves Luka too. Now, I know that's not his strong suit. I know he's a bullfighter on defense, but you're gonna have to do something at least show that you got effort on defense because those guys are going at him. It was the same thing where, like, you saw, like, where Darius Garland took some heat from inside NBA for saying, "Oh well, pick on Tyler Hero," and then he didn't play that. Saying, "Well, he's saying like, look, Tyler Hero gets buckets, but Tyler Hero is going to give up a lot of buckets too." By the way, tomorrow they will announce who's going to be the most improved player out of Ivica Zubac, Kay Cunningham, and Dyson Daniels.
They're gonna give it to Kay Cunningham, but it's all good.
That's so trash, dude. That's gonna be so trash.
What?
Austin Reed should be in that conversation.
That's gonna be so trash. Number 1 pick should not be in the most improved conversation ever.
I'm not gonna say ever.
Well, let's say like god awful. McKay wasn't god awful though.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was snow bill coming out of Oklahoma State, but he wasn't like now Zubac or Dyson Daniels. I can understand with them.
I'm talking about somebody like Jaren Jackson, not Jaren Jackson. What's the name who came out of Kansas? Who I thought was gonna be good?
Wiggins came out.
No, not Wiggins. It was after him.
Out of Kansas.
And I thought he was gonna be good. Was this Jackson?
Oh, Josh Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
It was trash.
Now, if he get on the team next year and come out and average 12 or 13, I'm not mad at that. Most improved, you know what I'm saying? Like it went down and it came back up.
Right. Hey, yo!
Shit. You know,
that was crazy.
That's wild.
Yo, shout out to Blue Chew, you heard?
Shout out to the goats.
Yeah. But yeah.
Well, I said someone better guard me.
No, I just think that I'm not. I don't like Cade Cunningham being in it. I don't like Jam. I like when John Morant won it.
I didn't like Brandon Ingram running.
I like when Brandon Ingram run it. JJ Redick is right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
But back to Anthony Edwards and Luka though. Anthony Edwards is proving that he's a two-way superstar. Now, shout out to Dice. Dice has said something, and it's kind of true. But there's always an exception to the rule. Now he's you already know what I'm about to say. He has this absurd thing of saying that Steph Curry's not a superstar. I don't agree with that. Look, I don't know. I think all of us are in agreement that statement is absolutely crazy. But look, his reasoning behind it is kind of when you think about it in certain aspects, it's true, but it doesn't apply to Curry because Curry's so good at what he does, it surpasses that. Dice said that a real superstar, when he grew up back in the day, plays both sides of the court at a high level.
That's not true.
And
that's not true.
And I was like, there are players that are exceptions to that. I don't agree with him saying that about what you call, because you can still be a superstar and not play defense. We've seen it numerous times. But the guys, shit. Look at Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, you said back in the day. Let's look at Dominique Wilkins. Dominique Wilkins wasn't.
Magic wasn't the best of them.
Magic wasn't the best.
But they put in effort.
Bernard
King wasn't. We looking at it was superstars that they play in the league.
Mm-hmm.
That defense wasn't. Reggie Miller defense.
Jesus, please.
man, Rich Miller, nothing but a glorified Joe Dumars.
No, he wasn't. No,
Joe Dumars played defense.
No, he wasn't.
Look, we've had this discussion. Hey,
overhyped play.
Nigga said, what Reggie Miller famous for? Being Cheryl Miller little brother and playing against the Knicks?
By the way, so the question was asked, who wins the title first? Ant-Man or Luka?
I don't know.
I really don't either.
Currently, right now,
the Lakers. By the way, Boston Celtics officially advanced to the next round. So, see, we'll talk about that
right now at this exact second. Obviously, Ant-Man has the better chance because even though the series isn't over, he's up in this series 3-1.
Yeah.
So obviously, right now, if he advances and Luka loses, obviously he has a better chance of winning beforehand. But in all honesty, this wasn't a good matchup for the Lakers from the very beginning. This was the one matchup that they probably did not want to have in the first round. And it's because that, first and foremost, you got a young guy, in the playoffs, he can match Luka's scoring, and he's able to play defense, and they have multiple defenders that they can throw at LeBron and Luka. And let's just be real, the Lakers are too small for him. Like, that's just really what it comes down to. Rudy Gobert is having a terrible series statistic-wise, but he doesn't have to do nothing. He doesn't have nobody to guard. What is he worried about? Jackson Hayes?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on now. And what's his name barely plays Jackson Hayes. So Rudy Gobert's just pretty much just chilling. I mean, the dude's averaging 3 points and 5 rebounds for the series.
Mm-hmm.
No, Jackson Hayes, man, flat out unplayable. 1 point and 3 rebounds. I mean, come on, dude.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, and then look, if you take out Rudy Gobert, you put in Nas Reed. Nas Reed absolutely kills the Lakers when the Lakers had AD. There's no AD over there now, so his job is a lot easier to do what he has to do.
I'll put it like this: Nas Reed is the Lakers bench is averaging 7 points in the series. Nas Reed is averaging 13.
Nas Reed is the Laker killer, man.
Yeah, he is. He puts up big games. He's had some big games against the Lakers over the past couple of years. but it's just a bad matchup for the Lakers. You know, the team is young. You know, they play a physical brand of basketball. They can score. They have good leadership. You know, we can feel the way we feel about, especially me, about Rudy Gobert. But him being in the game makes it, you know, you have to adjust your game while he's in the game, because he's going to defend the rim. Perimeter defense, you could do that. He could do score against him all day. But going to that rack, you have to double guess it because he's right there. So it's a rough matchup. And like I said, Jaden McDaniels is balling. He's, you know, it was Tig said this is the best series that he's seen him play offensively, and that's a good thing for Minnesota because he has to make up for some of that offense that they did lose. It's impossible for him to make up for the offense that Karl-Anthony Towns brings to the table, but somebody has to step up to give you some of those, at least some type of numbers, while a guy who was the second leading scorer on your team isn't there no more. And Julius Randle was having a hell of a series as well. That's the guy who's been the engine in this whole series, in my opinion. Shout out to Julius Randle because he is killing the Lakers.
Yeah, he got some kind of issue with the Lakers.
They released him the year they signed Bron.
Traded him or released him?
They didn't release him.
They didn't release him. He just left,
and they just didn't bring him back.
Yeah, he said he was cool. He said he didn't want to resign. They didn't give him a contract, so he's like, all right, everybody agreed to go separate ways. But yeah, that's how that went. So, you know, Minnesota, they're playing extremely well. If they have to play more than likely the Warriors next series, the Warriors are about to lose a 3-1 lead against Houston. Houston is too young right now for to deal with what the Warriors have as far as the playoff experience, championship pedigree, and all that. Yeah, so, you know, this even if they don't get nobody next year, I mean, it's just a learning experience. You got to learn eventually. Look at OKC their first year going to the playoffs. They got smoked too. You know, it's just a learning experience. So, you know, they'll come back stronger next year. Jalen Green got to look in the mirror and be like, I'm a big reason why, or probably the main reason why, that we're losing these games. He's had one good game in the series, and coincidentally, they won.
That's the game he had 38, you know.
It hasn't been nowhere close before or after. That's his only double-digit scoring game in the past 7 games.
Who?
Jalen Green. That 38 points was the most points.
Game 2. That's right. The game Jimmy Butler got hurt.
Yep. And the past 7 games, that's the only game he scored double-digit points. So, you know, and, you know, shout out to, you know, the Dylan Brooks has been having a good series, but you wouldn't know it because they down 3-1. Everybody else on the team is playing well except for him. And, you know, he got to look in the mirror and be like, dog, I'm the reason why we lost. You know, talk to your teammates. But, like, you know something, y'all? This series, this is on me. Your teammates will respect you more for accepting the accountability of you not playing well in this series, and it's being a fact like, dog, I'm the reason why we lost this game. My fault, y'all. You know, we're going to get through this. We're going to work in this summer, and we're going to get this shit right.
Yeah.
You know, this is our first year here. We're going to figure this shit out.
Or put him in the trade package to get Giannis.
That's all.
I think they're definitely going to make a run at KD. They're definitely going to make a run at a star to put with these young guys. A star.
Oh.
Giannis fits their system better than KD will. Only because, you know, if you just look at the way their team is built, their team plays defense. So, you know, Giannis is one of the best two-way players in the league. You know, when he's playing at a high level, he might be the best two-way player in the league. And it might not even be close.
I'm gonna say this: if you take out Jalen Green, because I think Kevin Durant played more defense than Jalen Green. if you take out Jalen Green and switch him with Kevin Durant, this series is
Uh-huh.
not the.
Yeah, but I think that's not a good move in the long run. Like it's one of the things. Like let's say for example, like it may work for like 2 years, and even if they win, that's cool. But in the long run, how much? Because the thing is, Kevin Durant isn't getting any younger, so that's the reason why I said Giannis would be the one that I would go after because he's younger. He can sit and he fits the system more. Ooh, Shaq almost fell. And yeah, Shaq, sit your big ass down here, nigga. So, yeah, oh, bro, that nigga makes so much money for a sleep to look like that. Whoa,
Shaq toes worse than Dion's.
That shit is insane.
dog, this is crazy. Yeah, but I mean, this nigga foot up the fucking camera, man. This shit fucking nasty. But yeah, this Timberwolves team, they're gonna be a tough out for whoever they play for the rest of the playoffs because they're going into the next series with some confidence, and Golden State can have the same issue. And Golden State can run to the same issue the Lakers ran against them.
The thing with Minnesota, the thing with Minnesota is, dog, they athletic all over the court.
Yeah.
Yep. The Lakers don't have that.
Nope.
That's part of the problem. And I know that, I hear a lot of Laker fans saying JJ not making no adjustments. But every coach that the Lakers have don't make no adjustments for some odd reason. That's weird to me.
Well, I'm gonna say that. I said it after game one. I said after game one with the defense, and they did adjust it. But look, like I just said, if they can't make threes, if you come out the paint, it got us through the regular season. If they're making threes, you just gotta play defense, and it's simple as that. In regards to Luka, the players, Luka gotta stop dribbling into all these damn double teams. I mean, come on, man. Shaq, dog, what are you doing?
Hey, Mark.
Yep.
You said the Lakers coaches don't make adjustments.
No, that's what Lakers.
You want to know what? You want to know why?
Why?
Because they keep hiring rookie head coaches.
Well, Vogel wasn't a rookie.
Vogel was trash.
Mike Brown
but he's been
Mike Brown wasn't a rookie. I mean,
Mike Brown did not have a good team.
We got to the playoffs.
I just think that sometimes it's okay to say the other team is just better.
Yeah, that's how it is. He's getting out coached. It's okay. You're getting out coached, dog. That's how it is sometimes.
I said it. Chris Finch is out. Chris Finch does not act like Chris Finch wasn't nominated for Coach of the Year last year. This team did just play in the Western Conference Finals.
That's the reason why I said even though I love my Clippers and I know we have the best chance of beating this team. The reason why I said the Nuggets would win is because of Joker. Like, some guys, you're just so good. You always think like, all right, no matter what happens, if the series is close, there's a chance for this team to hit the freeway because of this guy. And that's how I feel about Denver. As long as that series is close, that's the reason why I was mad we lost game one, because we'll be up 3-1 instead of being 2-2 in the predicament that we're in right now. You can't let certain teams just stick around. Certain players, they just, as long as that guy's on your team, you got a chance. Joker's one of those players.
Yeah, we're keeping hope alive, kid. We're gonna keep hope alive. All right, we're gonna get up out of here, but let's get a final calling out names. I don't really have a calling out names, but I got a shout out. And that's to everybody who's watching. Wow, we just got a new subscriber. And that's just told me her brother Anthony just subscribed to the channel. So shout out to Anthony. Shout out.
Yes, sir.
But I want us to know everybody who's been watching the show. If y'all been following us, we've been making a lot of progress lately. We had another milestone. We had 65. One day we had 65,000 views on YouTube. Now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
70,000. And that's all we give y'all.
We got to do a special show when we hit that 100K. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
Everybody keep on tapping in. Keep sharing. We appreciate everybody. All the viewers, all the people that watch the show afterwards that can't watch the show live. We appreciate y'all as well. We appreciate
Nick,
everybody
something's wrong with
that
Pig.
shares the content. What happened?
Something wrong with Pigs.
We definitely not shot that nigga out. But
Oh, fuck. Kristen Wood said, "Congratulations, thanks, Kristen." Shout out to you.
shout out to Bobby Womack.
Jerome. Put on that Bobby Womack.
Yeah, but yeah, shout out to everybody, man. Y'all have been great for us over the years. We appreciate everybody.
Wait. They say y'all got to dance for us for the 400 episode. The hell we don't.
No, the fuck I'm not.
This is crazy. Yeah, that's wild. Oh, what's up? Shout out to Rob. Shout out to Shea and Shaq. But
Wait. She wants y'all to do the elephant dance.
No. Tig, you gotta relax.
Nigga said,
I know you didn't just do the Ric Flair, dog. I know you didn't just do the Ric Flair. You do the Ric Flair, huh?
They said only John exclusive.
No. This how big we are in the show, huh?
All right, John gotta go to his house and do only John's tonight. That's crazy.
hey, look, doing your only John somebody else's house is absolutely absurd.
That's out of pocket.
Yo, Lay, relax. We're not.
That's like getting head somebody a hallway.
Lay, we're not. I'm not home right now. Yo, I freaking hate Nick. By the way, no, for those who are wondering, I do got to call out names. You're right. Just because of their questions, I got to call out AT&T. And these two niggas are heathens. I'm calling out AT&T. So we're doing the show tonight. Usually you do the show at my house, but we're at Mark's house tonight because my Wi-Fi has been out since Saturday. Woke up Saturday morning, Nick Freeze. Wi-Fi was out. Mom's house phone was out. All of a sudden, when I got home from church, said there's an outage in the area. Okay, figured. We kind of figured that. Talked yesterday. Still out. Mom's calling. They said someone that tried to vandalize one of the phone poles, and they tried to steal some of the copper off the top of the phone wires. They're gonna tell me that the Wi-Fi that they're working on it, and it probably won't be fixed to May 18th. I'm sorry, what?
May 18th. You better put a hell of a discount on my bill.
So mom was like, they spend the bill, and like we had to pull an audible real quick, and Spectrum's coming out tomorrow to install our new Wi-Fi. So Nick, you all right? You all right? Yo, Lay, you gotta calm the F down. That's my call out. Shout out together, but shout out to Spectrum for coming through in the clutch. Mark, you on my phone?
Wow, we talked about my shout out.
Brandon Bean.
Salute.
Y'all. What the heck is laying there to pride in something?
Nope.
Let me shut up. Nick.
What'd you say, John?
John, you good, dog?
I'm good. Nick, you have ever called our names?
Yes, I do actually.
Go ahead.
I have Rashad McCann calling out names.
Oh, what? All right.
We're gonna talk about that Friday.
No. I'm not talking about that in particular because I know we're gonna talk about that on the show. But Rashad McCants, I don't know if I brought this up last week or not, but it's so terrible I have to bring it up again.
Not the 81 points.
Yes, Rashad McCants, you're still on calling out names for that because that was absolutely absurd.
Lay, get out.
What'd she say?
That's wild. That's a wild statement.
No. Oh, and John gonna call our names too.
What I do?
That clip was hate. That's all I have to say.
Dog, you the
That
one.
clip was no.
How about the person?
That was hate.
How about the person?
That was hate.
Hey yo,
That was hate.
y'all good?
Dog,
They trying to debate how many listeners Mark got is insane.
dog.
That's hate too.
Nick,
Yo,
what you posted in the group chat,
what? Which one?
the Keystone Cop,
Pops,
Oh,
cops, COPS, as in the police. You sick freaks. Nova, what up though? Hey Nova, excuse my co-host. They're wild. Shout out to Nova. Shout out to Coach and family, Nova. Society and pop culture in the building.
oh my God. Hey, John is funny.
Wait, you sent a picture of some drugs?
No, of Molly.
The drug?
No, first take.
Oh,
The first time I took Somali?
No,
I was about to say, how John get Molly?
no. Nate thinks Molly smells, and she hates on her because she's skinny.
She is skinny as a motherfucker. I ain't from the front.
Yeah, but she don't smell.
I don't know. That's Jalen Rose
Dog.
or Stephen A. Smith.
Who's your calling out names, Nick?
I have myself. I have myself on calling out names
Oh,
because I saw like about 3 videos that involved Jason Whitlock over the past like few weeks,
Tig, F you, dog.
and for some apparent reason, I agreed with him. So I don't know what's wrong with me. So I put myself on calling out names.
Okay, we need to bring this up on Friday.
excuse me?
We need to mention this on Friday. Why Nick agreed with Jason Whitlock, which is, I think, a first for anybody on the brand.
Yeah, I've agreed with him 3 times over the past few weeks. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Either I'm tripping or he's starting to make sense.
No, wrong clock. A wrong clock right twice a day, so don't worry about it.
Oh yeah. Well, this motherfucker been right 3 times. I don't know what the hell going on.
By the way, can I say shout out Taylor Rooks?
Yes, you can.
Absolutely, you can say shout out to Taylor Rooks.
What we bring, let you out. All right, we gonna get up out of here.
Make sure we got.
So we got here. Gotta get these reels for y'all. So make sure y'all go on the YouTube. That makes you part of the show. See our clips. Watch the replay of the show.
See our clips.
Clips.
Oh,
all right. Friday, back at it. We'll talk the Bucks off season, the Magic's off season, and we'll see
the Bucks,
the Rockets, and the
lick the clip,
and the Magic. I mean, the Lakers, Rockets, and the Pistons make it to a Game 7 or whatever. Make sure y'all subscribe on YouTube. Y'all gotta chill. Make sure y'all follow, liking us on Facebook. Follow us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at Sports4U Podcast. Follow me at John Watson 0984 on X and Instagram. Follow Mark on Instagram at Higher Mark 1 on X.
Hey, y'all got TikTok?
Yeah,
I gotta get in there. Huh?
Yeah. Follow Nick on X, Instagram, and TikTok at 99gorilla. Hey, Tig, shut up. We'll definitely talk about the show.
Prince 99 is crazy.
I hate Tig. That's it. I hate Tig. Anyway, Sports4U Wrestling
in the hallway is crazy.
On X and Facebook. X and YouTube. No Rules Knives. Mark Illwill 730 on Instagram.
You heard?
Instagram and Sports4U back here Friday night on YouTube, X and X. Make sure you check out Humble Roses tomorrow with Nessa and Angel Rose. Marshall Mike's on Thursdays with our brother JT, the Culture Clash collabo. What y'all say?
You said shout out to the women who use roses.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we get out of here. Shout out to get out of here.
You
no,
John,
Nick.
John.
All right, this has been Sports4U. I'm John. That's Mark. That's Nick Freeze. We'll see y'all next.